This podcast, along with other fine shows, is proud to be a part of the one and only Throwback Network. Please visit at throwbacknetwork.net. Also, this episode stars Mr. Doug McCoy, courtesy of mccoycast.wordpress.com, and also starring Mr. Sean Johnson, courtesy of throwbackreviews.com. And now, enjoy the show.
Hello. It's hot. I hope it doesn't bother you, but I have some fans on, and if you can hear them, sorry. I'm going to try not to let it disturb my journal. But hello. My name once again is Urbanator, and what you're about to hear is a collection of audio journals that I'm recording from 1980 to 1989. Today is July 15th, 1980, and I plan to tell you what has happened in the past month. I'll cover some news, some technology, music, movies, and a little bit of show and tell for you. We have a lot to discuss in 30 minutes or less, depending on the length of this cassette tape. I picked up some Maxell 30s, so better get going.
Welcome to Urbanator's 8289 podcast. This is a recorded journal dedicated to the history of the 80s. All music used in the 8289 podcast was written and performed by Manolis and can be found at www.iamManolis.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
8289.
please take your seats.
Are you ready?
We hope you enjoy the show.
8289.
The show is about to begin. Are you really ready?
Hello again. I'm so glad to see that these tapes I'm putting out in the stores and the libraries have already been taken. There, of course, is no charge for these cassette tapes. I have a part-time job at Tower Records, so I get a brick of 20 tapes for about half off with my discount. I also was able to hit Sam Goodies and get a couple of the buy one, get one free 5-packs. Be sure to thank Bill at Crazy Eddie's for also helping us promote these journals. He's been giving away tiny Rubik's Cube keychains with the tapes, and I really appreciate that. So what I'll be doing for this month is recording the information that has happened since June 15th until now, July 15th.
And now we will talk about current events.
A heat wave has been melting the United States something awful. Tennessee hit 108 in the past couple of days, and most of the country hasn't seen less than 90 degrees in the past month. Water has been rationed throughout Oklahoma and Texas, and this has definitely been one of the hottest summers I have ever seen on record. U.S. President Jimmy Carter signs Proclamation 4771 requiring 18 to 25-year-old males to register for a peacetime military draft in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
It's simple to call for a new arms race, but when armed aggression threatens world peace, though tough-sounding talk like that is not enough. A president must act responsibly. When Soviet troops invaded Afghanistan, we moved quickly to take action. I suspended some grain sales to the Soviet Union. I called for draft registration. We joined wholeheartedly with the Congress.
Earlier today, around 2 p.m., a derecho hit 4 counties in western Wisconsin, including the city of Eau Claire. So far, they estimate about $250 million in damages. On July 2nd, Grateful Dead's Bob Weir and Mickey Hart were arrested for inciting a riot, which is just strange to me because it's the Grateful Dead, and they're such happy-go-lucky people, but apparently they cause fights. In the beginning of July, President Jimmy Carter signed a bill authorizing the setting aside of space on the National Mall for a Vietnam Veterans Memorial. That's something I'm looking very forward to seeing. Also, July is a very important month for me because that's when my birthday is, July 12th. And on my birthday are the following celebrities that celebrate my birthday with me. I was born on the same day as Bill Cosby, Cheryl Ladd, Milton Berle, Richard Simmons, Charlie Murphy, brother to Eddie Murphy, and last but not least, George Washington Carver.
And now we will talk about technology.
This will be a short business about technology. But July 1st, I read that IBM representatives met for the first time with a gentleman by the name of Bill Gates to talk about an operating system for a new IBM personal computer. Bill Gates and his buddy Paul Allen are the founders of a company called Microsoft, which was started in Albuquerque, New Mexico, April 4th, 1975. Very interested to see what becomes of this because computers are just going to change the world one day. So I cannot wait to see what becomes of this.
You're looking at a small portable computer called the IBM 5100. It's helping a lot of different people do their work more productively.
Managing real estate investments entails many difficult decisions. Do I pay it now or later? What about the landscaping? Can we afford it? What about taxes? There are many, many difficult decisions to make. It's really nice having a computer to help.
It weighs about 50 pounds. You can plug it in anywhere. The 5100 can help handle some very complex information.
Jet fuel is expensive. At Simmons Precision, we're developing a product that'll help the pilots save fuel. Flight test time is also expensive. But we do our flight tests right here in the lab on our 5100 and save time and money.
Capacity? About the same as some large computers a few years ago.
We're a mid-sized life insurance company. If we want to compete, and we do, we've got to be flexible. We've got to get answers fast. This little machine will help us do it.
The 5100 is easy to learn and simple to use. The cost of the 5100 is reasonable. The IBM 5100. It's bringing the advantages of the computer to more and more people. IBM, helping put information to work for people.
And now we will talk about music.
Well, since this has been the hottest July on record that we've seen in a long time, there really hasn't been a lot of action in the music industry. But I do have some news to share with you of the month that has passed. So we start with, on June 25th, KISS played the first show with the new drummer, Eric Carr, formerly Paul Carvello, at the New York Palladium. Peter Criss left the band to pursue a solo career. Eric Carr's birthday is actually today, July 15th. He chose the mask of a hawk, but it's rumored that he might change it to a fox later this year. KISS fans will definitely understand what that business is all about. July marks the 25th anniversary of Bill Haley's Rock Around the Clock, reaching number 1 on the American singles charts. Right now he's touring in South Africa. On July 19th, David Bowie appeared in a role of the Elephant Man in Denver, Colorado. And I didn't know that the man could act. He's really good. He should do some movie roles. And in about a week from now, about 10 days from now, AC/DC will release the Back in Black album with their new singer Brian Johnson. And that'll be on July 25th. And I've already heard a single from it, and he sounds like this. So I can't wait to hear the whole album. And now it's time for the U.S. Top 10 Singles for the week ending July 12th, 1980. Now, some of these songs are going to be the same as last month. So what I did was I used my double cassette player and I dubbed out copies of what I sang last week. Because I got a little bit of a cold from all this heat, and I'm not going to be able to sing too well. I'll give you an example with number 10. I'm going to sing Let Me Love You Tonight by the Pure Prairie League off of Casablanca Records. Number 10. Pure Prairie League, Casablanca Records, Let Me Love You Tonight. Number 10.
Number 10.
Let me love you tonight. There's a million stars in the sky. Can't do it. I will sing My cat Jerry said hi. Hold on one second.
Number 9.
Let's Get Serious, Jermaine Jackson. Motown Records.
Number 8.
Magic, Olivia Newton-John, MCA Records.
Number 7.
Funky Town, Limps Inc., all the way up from number 1 for last month. Casablanca Records.
Number 6.
Why don't we steal away?
Steal Away, Robbie Dupree. And that's all the way down from number 10 from last month.
Number 5.
Cupid, I've Loved You for a Long Time. A medley by the Spinners, Atlantic Records.
Number 4.
Oh, Little Ginny. Little Ginny, Elton John, MCA Records. All the way down from number 8 from last month.
Number 3.
Some say love, it is a river. The Rose, Bette Midler, Atlantic Records.
Number 2.
Still rock and roll to me. It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. Billy Joel, Columbia Records. All the way down from number 7.
Number 1.
Coming up. Coming Up. Coming Up live at Glasgow, Paul McCartney and Wings, Columbia Records. Down from number 2 to number 1. And now I'm going to give you my top 5 albums released in the past month.
Number 5.
Huey Lewis in the News. Huey Lewis in the News. Songs like Hearts and Don't Make Me Do It.
Number 4.
Live at Last, Black Sabbath. Songs like War Pigs and Paranoid.
Number 3.
Xanadu soundtrack, Olivia Newton-John with the Electric Light Orchestra. I am a huge Olivia Newton-John fan. She is gorgeous. She can sing. Songs like Magic and Suddenly.
Number 2.
Freedom of Choice by Devo. Songs like Whip It, Girls You Want, Devo.
Number 1.
Triumph, The Jacksons. Can You Feel It? And This Place Hotel.
And now we will talk about movies.
Although it took our theater a while to get this movie, I finally got to see Empire Strikes Back. This movie rocked. I do not want to give anything away, but George Lucas should make a run for president or something. I finally saw Empire on Tuesday, June 17th, and it was so packed that I could hardly find a seat. The movie itself came out on May 20th, but they had it in selected theaters only, so there was no way I could get a ticket. But I am looking forward to the next one. They're supposed to have 3 of them, so 1 more to go. On July 2nd, I saw a movie that was hilarious. It was directed by David Zucker, Jerry Zucker, and Jim Abrams. And it's a movie that takes place in a time that must not exist. And let me explain. There's a ex-fighter pilot who's afraid of flying. He's in love with this woman who is sort of like his military girlfriend from an unnamed war. They get back together again on this plane which is traveling to Los Angeles. It's a big Boeing 707. I think it's flight number 209 from Los Angeles, to Chicago. And he's hoping to win her back through the whole movie. And I'm not going to tell you what happens. It's hilarious. It's called Airplane, what a better name for it. Leslie Nielsen is in it. You'll see some other actors a lot of cameos from other actors that are just wonderful. Stars Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty. Those are the main actors in there. Lloyd Bridges is in it. Just wonderful film. I highly suggest it. On July 11th, I saw a movie with Chevy Chase and Benji and Goldie Hawn. Benji has been in quite a few movies. He was in 1974's Benji, of course. For the Love of Benji in 1977. Benji's Very Own Christmas Story in 1978. 2 years later, he does another film, Oh Heavenly Dog. That's what I saw. Chevy Chase, Goldie Hawn, Jane Seymour, Omar Sharif. Chevy Chase plays a private investigator, and he's called on a job but gets killed after finding a dead woman. And in the afterlife, he comes back as a dog, Benji, and helps solve the case to earn his way into heaven. Simple idea, great movie. highly suggest you go see it.
And now we will have a little show and tell.
Do you know what this is? It's about the size of a big dinner plate, and it tests your memory. And it actually came out about a couple years ago. Very hard to play this and talk to you at the same time. There we go. But finally, it went down in price this year, and it's fun with 4 people. But if you have less, it's more. Hold on. But it's more fun if you have. But it's fun if you have less. But it's harder to play. So, Simon. Hold on. It's called Simon, fashioned after Simon Says, I guess. And it's an electronic game of memory. It was invented by a gentleman by the name of Ralph H. Baer. Excuse me, still got that cold. Ralph H. Baer and Howard J. Morrison. And the software was programmed by a gentleman by the name of Lenny Cope. Of course, manufactured by Milton Bradley, the king of toys at the moment. And it was first launched in 1978 at Studio 54 in New York City. So it's seen the bright lights of the big city life, and now it rests in my den. Okay, I could do this. Well.
And now it's time for the video game of the month.
Well, now it's time for the Atari Game of the Month with my buddy Doug, who I will give a call in a little bit here. But I do want to tell you that Doug has been helping me quite a bit with a lot of other things besides gaming, and I just want to extend again a very, very firm thank you for making life easier than it normally is. Such a good friend. So without further incessant babbling on my part, I'm going to call my buddy Doug.
What's going on?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just sitting here messing around playing a little Atari VCS. What are you doing?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm playing the Pele game. Remember that came out this past week, and I was excited, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I was wondering if you were going to come by later and check this out.
Well, I picked up my own copy because I was excited about it too.
Yeah.
And I've been giving it a try. What do you think about it so far?
Oh, it's rough. It's wait a minute. It's pretty good. The hardest part is trying to keep the ball in my man's. Hold on, I'm about to score. Yes. Goal.
Yeah, and after you score a goal,
yeah,
you get a little fireworks display.
Yeah, it just did that. It was pretty cool. They got the scoreboard up there. But
yeah, I've never seen anything like that in an Atari game before. What did you think about the play field? What do you think about the setup?
Well, it's pretty cool. The options to change the goal sizes and everything like that kind of helps, because I was really messing up when I started out.
Yeah, I'm not very good at soccer, and so I have to use the largest goal. You can also change the speed of the players. I have to make them the slowest possible. You can do that. You can have them fast, medium, or slow.
Right.
I put them on slow. But if I do that, I can score a goal every once in a while and see the fireworks. What I really like, though, is that the screen moves. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does. You're moving with the screen.
Yeah,
which
I've
is
never
nice.
seen that before. I mean, when we had basketball, you had a goal on each end of the screen, and the screen never moved. So this one, the screen goes. Well, we're looking from the top, right? We're looking at the top of the players, and there's 3 of them, which is not as many as on a regular soccer team, I don't think.
No.
But you've got 3 instead of just 1, and we're looking at them from the top, and as they move, the screen moves up and down. What do you call that? Scrolling?
I would guess it would be some kind of scrolling feature, just like you're scrolling on a scroll.
Yeah, so I think scrolling might be a good term.
I think that would be neat, actually.
Vertical scroll parallax or something. That's probably what we ought to call that if we ever see this in any other video games. But yeah, you compare that to basketball, where you only got 2 players, 1 on each side, and you only got 2 goals on each side. So I think it's pretty cool. You can set it to where you can't go out of bounds. I like that too, because I have a hard time keeping it in bounds. So I make it as easy for me to play as possible, and I've been pretty impressed with it.
I'm really, and I'm about to score again. I have a problem shaking, so I go out of bounds a lot, and then goal. Now that's going to even it out, because they got 2 goals on me when you were talking about it. But well, I find you more interesting than the game, Doug. You know.
Well, I'm sorry to take you away from Pele, but hey, did you hear about there's this kid? I don't know if you've seen him at school. His name is Ferguson. They call him Ferg.
Yeah, Fergie. I know Ferg. He's cool.
Rap or something. Yeah.
I like
him. He says he knows every Atari game there is. He says he's got a list, but he doesn't call them games. He calls them parts, and I can't figure that out. But he says that this is not Pele soccer. He says it's championship soccer.
Huh.
Have you ever heard anybody say that before?
No, I've heard him say it, and you know, he knows all of the games, and it makes me jealous. So I look at him and I nod. I go, yeah, because he's like an encyclopedia of the Atari games, and I'm just, you know, I'm on cartridge number 7, so it's bad.
I think he's crazy. I like Pele soccer. I'd never heard of Pele before, but he has to be awesome. He has an Atari game.
Yeah,
so.
I've seen him on Wild World of Sports. Oh gosh, they got me again. Wild World of Sports on CBS. I'm sorry, ABC, and he's pretty good. He can kick a ball. I'm going to tell you that right now. He can really kick a ball.
Right. Listen, bud, I've got to get going. Whit is coming over. He wants to do some hitchhiking, I think, is what he said, or something strange like that. He's talking about HBO, or I don't know. But I got to go catch up with Whit, so hopefully I'll see you again soon.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Wish me luck at this. I'm not doing too well, but I'll be over later and hitchhike with you.
Hey, real quick though, did you figure out which player is Pele?
I'm thinking it's going to have to be one of these 4. I can't figure him out. I'm guessing maybe he's the ref.
Maybe that's it. Because the other 6 players all look pretty much the same.
They do. They really do.
All right, then. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's time for Zerpinator's Future Predictions.
Well, I'm happy to say that my buddy Sean came over for Future Predictions this week. Sean, thank you so much for coming by, man.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I thought we were going to watch a little Jaws.
Yeah, I got Jaws on Laserdisc just this past week, and you've been talking about wanting to see it, and you know how you and I love to discuss movies, so that'd be great. I finally, you said you went a couple weeks too, but Star Wars Empire Strikes Back finally came out in the theaters. It took forever. It was only playing like in certain areas. But you were talking about a future prediction having to do with Star Wars.
Well, yeah, I was looking at my brother's issue of Bantha Tracks, and they were saying, and I don't know how true it is, but they claim that George Lucas already has backstories explaining how Luke became, or Darth Vader became who he is and stuff like that. So I have a feeling with the way these movies are doing so well that at some time in the future he's definitely going to make some sort of, I don't know, what would you call it? It's not a sequel, like a prequel, I guess you would say it is.
Yeah.
To kind of give the backstory. So I'd have to say that's probably what's going to happen.
That would be awesome. I think I would really, really enjoy those. And I think that he'll do an awesome job with them. I think now, it's an unrelated topic with the movies, but Jonathan Williams doing incredible music. Music is awesome. I mean, you get a lot of orchestration and a lot of music nowadays. But I've always felt, one day in the future, and I think Jim Morrison for The Doors said it, John Lennon said it, eventually there's just going to be like one person doing all of the parts on stage with computers and synthesizers and other words that I'm having trouble pronouncing. And I think that, in my opinion, I predict in the future singers will not do as well because there's going to be so much pollution in the air that their vocal cords are just going to turn to sheer crap, and they're just going to end up using pitch correctors for songs to fix it. What do you think?
I think it's a scary thought. I don't know if it's more scary about the pollution or just the way that music could go that way, where they have to use computers or something to make that, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of an odd
What
idea.
would be funny is if it was first created by a rap artist.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
That is the new thing now, huh?
Yeah. Did you hear the Rapper's Delight song? That came out not too long ago.
Yeah, I did. That was pretty cool.
70s. Hippity hop. I can't do it, but the hip to the hop with the thing and the stuff. So it was pretty neat.
Yeah, well, speaking of like computers or not being able to have people singing all the time, I think cars are probably going to have to. I don't know. Maybe cars will start talking to you when you get in the cars. It'll tell you things. I mean, if people can't sing because of air pollution, maybe people can't talk to each other and tell their kid to put a seatbelt on. Maybe the car will end up telling us to do something like that.
That would be awesome. And, oh man, do you think it's going to be just an American thing, or do you think they're going to do that in German too for the Volkswagens?
Oh, definitely in the Volkswagens, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure that's
on the level of pollution, you'd think that with all the cars talking and all the people singing incorrectly, you'd think there would also be some kind of noise pollution. So I predict by 1990, we're going to have something like everyone's wearing headphones. Like everybody's wearing headphones because this is getting too loud. Because right now, the headphones are starting to take off in the Walkmans that came out, the Sonys.
So you're saying that everyone's going to be walking around with those little orange things on their ears, the little spongy orange things?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, I think so. I think we're all just going to, it'll look like everybody just has these foam ears.
Well, it seems to be starting at my house because my brother has them on all the time when he's laying in bed, when he's eating his breakfast. He always has these little orange little spongy things on his ears all the time. My mom's always yelling at him to take them off. What, Ma? I can't hear. So I don't know. You're coming up with some kind of scary thoughts about the future.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. I think in the future they're going to have sensors that beep bad words.
That would be good now, too. They can't come too soon.
Yeah.
So who's been coming out on TV a lot is who the world's greatest athlete is?
Oh, of course, it would have to be Bruce Jenner, right?
Yeah. He broke all the records in the '76 Montreal Olympics. Yeah. And he's constantly on TV. I mean, I've seen him. He was on the Jim Nabors show. Good Morning America, he's always on there. He was even on the 25th anniversary of The Wonderful World of Disney. A show that I love watching. It's only on twice a year, but my brother and I try to catch it, is that Battle of the Network Stars. You get all the TV shows. And he actually was on there with Howard Cosell and was kind of like a guest host. So he's getting, for an athlete, I didn't think they would get this crazy big. He's on that cereal now, the Wheaties box. And
yep, he was on my Wheaties yesterday morning. I had a box of that. A whole bowl.
A whole bowl?
Yeah.
Well, you got to eat your Wheaties, but he's getting pretty big. So I have this feeling that, I don't know, maybe in the future, maybe when he's a little older, I bet you he has some kids that grow up to be pretty well known in the media. Like, I don't know, stars, or they're going to do something that everyone's going to be talking about him.
Really? You think the kids will grow up and be like the coolest things in the world? And do you think they'll marry rich?
Oh, well, they'll have to. I mean, he's a star himself, so they're going to want to be stars, I would think.
Yeah. I think they'll get married in the West. And so, thank you so much for joining me for these predictions. I really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to get that Laserdisc game.
Yeah, let's get going on that, because Quint is waiting for us. Have you been practicing your Quint?
No, I haven't seen the movie yet.
Well, then you'll know what I'm talking about when we watch it, because I have no clue what Quint is either, but we're going to enjoy it.
I hope so. I look forward to it.
All right, well, let's take a bite out of this movie, and thanks so much, man. Let's enjoy it.
All right.
All right. Well, I thank those of you who have listened to this tape. Remember, you can find these recordings down at any drug fair, Dart Drug, People's Drug, on Main Street, or at your local library. Also, my friend who's working over at Heckinger has started putting the tapes out for you. I truly hope this sheds a little light on life here in the 80s, and I'll continue with these journals month to month as time goes on, with all of the news and entertainment that I can find. And I look forward to talking to you guys again. I'll see you next month.
I am so happy we were joined by my very good friends Doug McCoy and Sean Johnson.
All of Zerbinator's music and podcasts are under the Creative Commons license, which allows retelling and rebroadcasting as long as the author is notified and credited. For more great escape pods, please visit www.zerbinator.wordpress.com. If you would like to contact Zerbinatorland, you can send an email to instrumentally@gmail.com or give us a call at 571-408-ZERB or 9372.